Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Automotive. Let's see, this is out of a 2010 Ford F-150, 3-valve engine, broken spark plugs or spark plugs that didn't come out, timing. This is a salvage yard engine, by the way. I've lost, don't know what I did with it. I've lost the disassembly video, so I can't post that. Anyway, I took the valve covers off of it. I took the intake off of it on account of we're going to seal that up, and besides that, I wanted to clean the deck, or the heads I should say, really. We took all the timing components off. I guess once I post the assembly video, I guess you kind of know how to take it apart. I mean, if you can't do that anyway, you know, it's not looking good for the home team. Anyway, got some boxes with some goodies right here. I guess you can start with this one here. Yes, I guess you see the tape. So, oil pan gasket set, perma-dry, there's your number. The oil pan is loose, by the way. They're rough on these plugs, I'm going to tell you. These are the OE plugs. These supposed to be the single piece. I don't know if they are or not. I think they are. Redone. For those of you that watch my channel, you've probably seen me fix them. And right now, in this one here, although we have that same thing here, I'm not going to film that part of it because, like I said, I do have it in a previous video. We got the, watch out Zeus. We got the Chloe's timing set. I'm not going to read it, I'll just show you. Now this is the number right there. If you wondered what I'm using, that is what I am using. Chains, guides, tensioners. Get you a little bit better shot of that, so what that is. And I guess I don't really need to take apart every single little thing. Well, that's that part. Cam phasers, cam phaser bolts. Not going to undo both of them right now. These Chloe's, despite of what some people may have heard about, if you're watching Ford Tech Muckaloco's channel, he says nothing other than Ford will work. These here will actually work, I promise you. These are good phasers. Customer wants these modified. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, so you can figure it out on your own. Customer wants them modified, that's all I'm going to say. Sorry about that. Classic mistake. You know what I'm saying? Stop your body. There's a Gates water pump. Melling oil pump. This is an M340. Not gonna lie, it's been a minute. So, I honestly don't recall if this is the high flow version or not. I think this is the standard version. Like I said, saying it's been a minute. Moving. Thank you. might want to make sure that O-ring for the oil pump pickup tube is not going to disappear on you. Pause you up for a minute. We'll get back to the front here and actually start putting some parts on. So, took the oil pan off. Got these bolts in here. And of course I did it wrong. The long bolt goes on the bottom here. Oil pump has to be guided in very carefully. The long bolt should be over here. That's part of the guide. If I remember that correctly, it's been a while. And I haven't looked it up. 89 inch-pounds. Eight millimeter. I grabbed the 10. Some people get upset when you click a torque wrench more than one time. This oil pump guides up here on the crankshaft. So the only problem that you might face if your bearings are so wore out and that's flopping in there, that might make some noises. Guide. See what all we got here. I don't remember what's what. Same thing on the torque spec. I have to do some playing with these here to see what guide goes where, but generally they can only fit one place, I believe. The pivot down here and down here is obviously, you can tell which ones those are. I guess a quick way to see what is the pivot is going to be where a tensioner goes. Same way over here, those will be in the same area. That almost kind of sort of goes without saying, or at least it should. I get asked about torque and stuff. Actually, I get comment of, why don't you torque stuff? Well, the important stuff like an oil pump, I do. You know, rods, connecting rods, crankshaft, cam bolt, stuff like that. Those items I always torque. The rest of it, I go by feel. Never had a problem yet. Couldn't have had a better timing there. Okay, so I'm gonna share this with you. When you take your oil pump off, this thing will drip for a week. Okay, since this has been sitting for a while, of course it finally all dripped out, and the oil pump, if I was you, I'd get her out of there because there's always crap inside that oil pan. I normally always clean them out, take them off, do your thing. And what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil pump back on, the oil pan back on, so I can set it back down on my cart. I don't want to leave it hanging. So I'm gonna pause you up for that part. O-ring in the pickup tube. Oil pan is on with new gasket. Lowering this thing back down. And if I didn't mention it, they want you to start with the key at the 6 o'clock position. One place where my shop is absolutely inferior to some of the bigger shops, and I'm talking not the other local shops in town, I'm talking about bigger shops. One thing that I don't have is a parts washer. I use a parts washer that's a brush type, the solvent and all that good stuff. I have that, like most other shops, but the real cleaning capabilities actually lie in a heated pressure washing cabinet. You know, those things are great. They're awesome for cleaning parts. You know, I've cleaned hundreds, if not more, parts in those things, and it's just difference between daylight and dark. I mean, those of you that watch my channel, you know that I've had parts that actually were spotless. So anyway, guides and more guides. Look good to me. What we got here? I think these are actually similar. Left and right are the same. Okay, so we got the two stationary guides bolt on, oil pan is torqued down, pan we got on, so that part is ready. I haven't done the cam phasers yet, so I'm trying to think. Sorry about that, guys. In the morning, in the morning we're going to continue. I don't want to do this tonight. The bolts torqued to 90 foot-pounds on the cam phasers. So that way I don't forget that. As a matter of fact, I might torque them down. Not going to film that part. 90 foot-pounds. Now there is a holding tool for the cams. I don't use it. I use vice grips. Yes, I do. Get you a shot of what I do. Right there's my vice grips. The cam does not slip in those. Not on 90 foot-pounds. Nothing is damaged by doing that. Now I got these things pretty tight. Put the grip on them. Wrong way. I'm gonna have to try to do it like that because make sure that your cam phasers are lined up in the pins or you're gonna have a heck of a time. There that went. All right, so over here we can't roll it because you're going to damage your actuators here. You don't want to do that. Like I said, there is a holding tool. One more time. The camera picked it up, but that was definitely it. I guess we could hook it in. I suppose that would work too. Let's try this just to see if this is doable. I'm not 100% for sure that is actually doable right there, but we'll give it a whirl and see if it does work. If that works, that would be great there. Got a bit of mechanics wire here. I looped that a couple of times. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm just playing right now. So, you use mechanics wire if you got some. Oh, you probably didn't see it. I'm sorry. Right there. Rigging, finest rigging right there. Anyway, we're going to continue this in the morning. One more thing real quick before we're done with the torque wrench, okay, so for right now or for a while, unload your shotgun. never leave a loaded torque wrench in a toolbox. You know, I make it a habit of unloading them, that way they stay in calibration. Not indefinite, but longer. Sue me, I'm gonna keep going, changing mine. One thing you do not want to forget is to put this reluctor wheel back on. And I'm actually glad I took the intake off. The temperature sensor up there in the head, that thing is busted. That's what a temp sensor looks like. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee that thing is still working, it's functional. It's just a matter of the housing being busted. So I want to recommend something. I had to fix this. I had another one, actual better one. This is a cheaper one. These tools are so cheap, I recommend you get you one of them. This actually is supposed to align this whole situation perfectly. That's still going to be scary tight right there. And nothing to do, we invested in it now, so we're going to continue on rolling with it. So theoretically, that's supposed to be perfectly aligned now, the way it's supposed to be aligned. Now I gotta friggin' force this thing back off of here. Like I said, I had a better tool, but these tools are cheap. Use a little bit of sandpaper, try to get some of that out. So anyway, I'm gonna pause you up. There's a dot here somewhere. There's a dot right there. All right. So this dot points straight down. All right. Now these gears are new, or sprockets. Not a gear, it's a sprocket, sorry. Brand new. So, moving on. Go your left side first, where this L is right here. Chloe's does a real good job explaining all of it, so. Black link on the dot. Well, that one is actually the important one that we want to make sure sorry about that. We're going to make sure that we keep our black dot lined up. That's very important. I gotta get a little bit of slack out of the cam. So the black link is exactly on our dot on the bottom. The cam got to be turned a little bit. Like right in there is good. So we've got, I hope you can see that real good. You got the two colored links between the L tooth, because this is the left side of the engine, and we lined up on the where the dot is with our black link. So we're lined up perfectly there. Now we're going to go ahead and get our chain tensioner ready and put it on there. 18 foot-pounds, 25 Newton meters for you guys across the pond. these are the same. Let's see, where are they? I got this, do it right here, backwards. Yeah, these are the same. I double check and triple check myself on these right there. That's always the most scary part about it. To me it is anyway. I hate that I had these long time spans. These are going to be black bolts. They're distinctively different. If you do the same thing I did and have it laying around for a longer period of time. Like I said, these are more black colored bolts and they have a stepped shoulder. If you guessed it, the two black links have to line up between the R and the black link colored, single colored link is on the dot, just like we did for the left side. Now, I told you something stupid a while ago. I have to fess up on that. Mind your chain tensioners, L and R. They're marked L and R. No comment. No comment. No comment. L, R. So, there you okay. So, I'm going to take a little bit of that slack out of here. Unload your valve train if that makes you feel better. And what I mean by that is loosen up all the caps and tighten them back up later on. That is easier. These are interference engines and they can potentially hit a valve. So this is loaded pretty good now. No slack. At this point in time that engine could technically be turned over. I'm not. Ain't no need in doing it. Pause you up. I want to go ahead and lift this up a little bit for you so you can see. That's just going to be a little bit crooked. Sorry about that, but the black link right there is on the dot, and that one behind it has to be the same way. That's just what it is. That's you have to make sure that is aligned correctly, or you will have problems. Pause you back up and set that down. On the reluctor wheel, if you put it on the wrong way, with the teeth facing inward, you will eat the chain, mess everything up there as well. So, in a nutshell, we're ready for a case. So, this is where we are. Yeah, I gotta put them plugs up. Probably not a very good idea to leave them laying on the table like that till they hit the floor. I talked to some other channel owners. It's been noticed here lately that people are getting a little bit, I don't know, demanding on stuff. You know, it's like this is free of charge. Yeah, there is some advertisement in there and all that good stuff, but for the most part, all this is free of charge. So, you know, when you getting into, I'm landing my plane here. What I'm talking about is if you're getting into the mechanical stuff, especially when it comes to timing and all that good stuff, if you don't know what you're doing and you really need the camera pointed at every single little bit, it is my opinion, unlike some shops, some YouTube channels that claim that if I can do it, you can do it. Well, maybe not. I think that's kind of leading. If I make that claim, I feel like I would be leading you on. So I'm not going to make that claim. I'm not saying you can't do it. I just don't want to lead you to believe that you can do something that ultimately is going to bite you later on, and you got to spend even more money. That's all I'm saying. Seal. I was about to say, make sure you start it pretty straight, but I think I done messed that one up. This may sound really violent on the camera. I'm not hitting this hard at all. Not at all. There's not a mark on here. Just to say that. The paint, in case y'all want to know, the paint around the outside of these seals, that is your sealer. This case here also got the battle scars that most of these things do, where the aluminum is ate up. Been down that road, I'm not going to show that. We'll get the bottom end cleaned up. Okay, so if you pivot the cover in really carefully, you don't have to take your oil pan loose. It is recommended to take it loose, just to tell you that. I'll put a dab of silicone in these corners where the gasket mate. If you've done it correctly, these bolts should go in. If you find the hole, that is. Now, these bolts here go in perfectly fine. Don't look like anything is hanging. They're nice and free. Give me just a second, and we'll go over the now the two biggest headed studded bolts that you have go in the bottom. Then you got the regular fasteners going here, and then on the other side you got two more of them. This side, the right side, it's got two studded bolts. One studded bolt over here on the corner, and then a big-headed regular bolt up here. And that is your bolt situation. Pause you back up. Up next, the water pump. Good God, you thirsty or what? I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Lubricate. It's good. Don't force it too awful hard. You wouldn't want to cut that O-ring seal. I did go ahead and clean that bore real good. Now I just got to find all the bolts to go in it, whatever they are. We don't know. I look at what I got here and kind of try to match them up. There looks to be like 4 of these flange bolts with washers that look the same. Yeah, clearly different. I got a bolt over here that doesn't belong to this vehicle, I already know. I also know what it does belong to. Anyway, that's in here. So anyway, tighten your water pump up there. I suspect that to be a 10 millimeter. As far as the arrangement on the bolts, I'll try to link these pages in there. It gives you what they are and how they torque as well. Actually, you've seen what they are. Fasteners torqued in 2 stages, 18 foot-pounds to 35 foot-pounds. And I'll give you a shot of this. We can pause that video right there and use that information as is. Let me go ahead and pause you back up, tighten it up. I do remember something I said earlier that was a 2010. Not that it matters, it's the same, but it's actually, this was actually going in a 2004. Customers got 2 of them, one of them is a 2010, that's why I said that.